In this video, we find out if it's still profitable to source on Facebook Marketplace, and I try out a negotiation tactic that I learned on a podcast. So stay tuned and find out how it went. Hi, I'm Matt Spitzberg and the Resell Champ, and I sell full-time on Amazon and part-time on eBay. Recently, I've been hearing some conflicting information on social media regarding using Facebook Marketplace as a viable sourcing opportunity and selling opportunity. Let me tell you what I mean. So on a lot of different podcasts, Facebook groups, different places like that on social media, I'm hearing people say things like, it's really impossible to find good stuff anymore on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, it used to be great, but now there's so much garbage on there. And there is a lot of stuff like ads from Chinese sellers. And, there's different people that will flake out. Like if you go to buy something, they will disappear or they don't meet you. And there's all kinds of negative aspects about it. What made me kind of think about this, I just saw this on Twitter, and I'll read you the exact quote. Many of you are familiar with Reselling, and I do follow him on Twitter and a couple of the social media platforms. He sent a tweet out recently. I'll read it verbatim. It says, "This is the year we will start hearing about people who made $1 million selling on Facebook Marketplace. The game is changing. I predict Facebook Marketplace to be the top buy-sell platform in a year or less." Well, that caught my attention because I do a lot of buying and selling on Facebook Marketplace. I replied to that saying basically, there's too many issues in my opinion. That was kind of all I said, and he did reply back, well, it's in beta. So what I mean by too many issues is just personal experiences I've had actually buying on Facebook Marketplace as a larger national platform versus locally. I've had a lot of great success locally, and I'm going to share with you a haul I just did yesterday on a Friday, and I got a great amount of stuff. And I haven't added up everything, but I know it's going to end up being a pretty good haul. I'll add that up on this video. So we'll find out how much I'm going to make from that. But I have actually purchased on two different occasions items where it says they would be shipping. So in order for Facebook Marketplace to really become this massive platform, kind of like eBay, it's got to, or Mercari or some of these other selling platforms, it has to be have this shipping capabilities where you can sell nationally and not just locally. They are moving in that direction, but here's the issue. When I've ordered two different times, I've tried to order stuff from somebody, who was shipping the item, and in both cases, they never shipped the item. I never received it. They never shipped it. So there's issues like that. That's a huge problem. If sellers aren't actually selling the item. Now I did get my money back. It took an entire, I think they give them like a week to ship it, and then you have to wait that entire time period to expire before you could get your money back. This is a terrible process as a buyer. If you're buying something like that. I know not everybody does that, but I mean, that's just, the couple times I've tried to order something on Facebook Marketplace where they were going to ship it. I've also heard from many different sellers or people that are using the platform as a shipping platform that there are issues with seller protections. eBay, on the other hand, has great seller protections. They take care of their sellers on their platform. On Facebook Marketplace, what I'm hearing, because I only sell locally on there, but what I'm hearing is that, a buyer can easily make a complaint about the item, and Facebook will always side with them, and they will be able to keep the item and they'll refund. So you lose the item and the sale. And that obviously is, can't happen, for the platform to be a viable selling platform, because if sellers are losing money on refunds, it doesn't make sense. Another issue is that you can't, not everybody can sell on there. Not everybody can ship. So like I've been on Facebook Marketplace pretty much right when it started. I was in Facebook selling groups, when they were doing selling. And then when Marketplace started, I hopped right on there, and I've been using it just as a local platform and selling on there. All great, all my reviews as a buyer and seller are good, 5-star. But I don't have the shipping option, so I don't know if it's geographical or regional, location wise, or if it's metrics wise, which my metrics are great. But I don't. Not everybody has that capability to even sell. But it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, it may not be something I even want to do if I don't have guarantees or protections in place. So nothing against Reezy Resells. I think Facebook Marketplace is headed that direction. I think the year time frame is probably, overestimated. Okay, I think it's underestimated. So I think we're probably looking at more 3 to 5 years, because they've got to get those kinks worked out. They've got to get everybody who wants to be able to sell on there to be able to sell, and they've got to protect the buyers better. I mean the sellers better. And they have to be able to protect the buyers, because if, as buyers, when you're ordering something and then the person never ships it, there's no kind of responsibility, there's no standard that they're holding you to. Then they've got to get all that fixed. So I think they're a little ways out, probably 3 to 5 years before. But I think it is the place to be. I think you need to be on there and taking advantage of it. Now I do sell on there, but locally, but I don't sell a lot, and because I'm restricted to my local audience, if they're not looking for what I'm selling, usually it's bigger stuff. I have sold a handful of things, or a few things, but I've also got a lot of stuff. I've got like 10 items on there listed, and they haven't, I'm getting very little activity on them. One thing to think about as well, though, is that, is it a great platform just to be able to source to resell stuff? And for me personally, it is. And I've heard complaints from other sellers, other groups, other social media platforms saying that it's not good anymore. It used to be, and yeah, it's not as good as it was. But some of my biggest hauls have come off of Facebook Marketplace. If you go back and check some of my beginning videos, I did a Lego haul that came off of Facebook Marketplace, and I did a board game haul that came off of Facebook Marketplace, and a giant DVD haul. So the Lego and the DVD haul, I've made a ton of money off of those hauls, all off of Facebook Marketplace. And I had a pretty good one yesterday. Not as good as the Lego or the DVDs, mind you. But I wanted to show you kind of what I did, and also share a negotiation tactic that I used on one of them that I learned off of a podcast. So why don't we start with that one? That one is I purchased a Wii, and the person had the Wii advertised on Facebook Marketplace for $40. And I've been paying attention to those, because the Wii values have kind of gone way up since the pandemic. And so just a BOLO, keep an eye out for Wiis if you can get them at a good price. And so I thought, okay, well, $40 actually was a good price. I could still make money off of that. But I decided I'm just going to shoot a lowball offer at them and see what happens. So I shot a $20 offer, and within probably 30 minutes to an hour, I just got a decline. Now, I could have just left it at that. And that's one tactic that you can do, is you could just send out numerous, hey, I'm just going to send out a bunch of lowball offers to everybody and just see if anybody bites. And I want to say this person, I think one of I had three different purchases that I made, and one of them I know was one that they had to get rid of the item. They were like, I need this gone. And usually that means they're going to negotiate if they say, I need this gone. Anyway, after they just kind of declined my offer, usually you get some kind of a back and forth, hey, they'll come back with a lower price. They didn't do that, but what I did do is I said, hey, here's the tip, the negotiation tip. I said, best I can do is between, I gave a range. I can do between, I think it was $20 and $30 is the best I can do on this. I said, if you decide to, take less, let me know. And that's all I did. So I gave a range, and this is the tactic that I learned on, it's the Pure Hustle podcast. I'm a big podcast listener. If you don't listen to podcasts, or if you do, if you don't, you should try some out while you're just riding in the car. That's usually when I listen to them, or out on the walk while I'm exercising. But this Pure Hustle podcast is a great podcast. They talk about reselling primarily on eBay, but also on Amazon. And they also do book reviews. And in one of those reviews, they talked about this negotiation tactic where you come back and you give them a range. And most of the time, the person, even though you gave a range, they won't respond back at the higher end of the range. They'll come back in the middle. That's exactly what happened. So I said, my initial offer was $20. I would have been ecstatic to get this Wii at $20. They wanted $40. Well, they didn't come back at the 30. I said, I'll take, best I can do is between $20 and $30. They came back and said they would do 25 was okay. And so I started out at 20. I gave a range of 20 to 30. They came back at 25. So basically I told them, I'm willing to pay $30 for this Wii. And they came back and did the middle of that range. So that is a great negotiation tip. Try it next time you're out. Give a range with the high end at the most that you would pay, the low end at like a low ball range, and see if they will come back as an offer somewhere in the middle. I bet you that they do. So I picked up this Wii for $25 yesterday. I have already boxed that and sent that in, so I tried to turn that around pretty quickly. It's going into FBA, Amazon, and it's going to be for $150. So right there, that's a pretty big switch. I'll probably get about 125 profit off of that. So I did want to pull up how much what this is going to net me, so that we'll know off of this Facebook haul. Now, again, it's going to be region specific, so this is all local stuff. So it's not anything I bought, and I've had very little success buying stuff to have it shipped to me. These are local finds, so obviously it's going to depend on where you're at. And I don't spend hours a day combing Facebook. I don't have Facebook Marketplace. I don't have like preset searches set up for new in box or any of that. I just go on when I have downtime, and I'll just scroll through Facebook Marketplace and see what's on there. I do search for the Wii, so I did search for that, but it was a manual search, and this one came up. Another item that I found on there is this, new in the box, Guitar Hero Live for the Wii U. So another bolo is like the guitars for the Guitar Heroes for a lot of the game platforms are doing pretty well. If you can get them cheap enough, like in the $5 to $10 range, just for the guitars. This is a complete, this is the whole setup, the Guitar Hero. Now the Wii U doesn't do quite as well, but I did check it out. That one I'm going to be able to list for I'm going to list it right at 100 or probably $99.99. There's no FBA sellers currently on it. It is going to take a little longer to sell, but I should net about $75 on that. So between the Wii and the, now this one I paid $30. So between the Wii and the Wii U Guitar Hero, right there, that's $200 off of $55 that I spent on those two. So let's see, I'm going to put that on here. What does it say? 200, right? So I've already made 200, or I'm going to make 200 after fees. That's going into Amazon FBA as well, off of 55. So I made one other purchase. This one I was the least excited about. It was a box of media. Media meaning it was things like blank DVD-Rs, blank tapes, cassette tapes, VHS tapes. There was one Wii game in there. Just an assortment of electronic type stuff, but all small, light, and it was in a very small box. And this was $30. And the only research, they had everything spread out on the table. The only research I did was I looked at the Wii game, and it looked like I could get close to about $30 just on the Wii game. So I was like, I knew the rest of they had sealed, DVD-R, lots in there. They had a lot of the stuff was new. So I thought, I'm going to go for it. So I just went, and here's what happened. So this was the first item I was going after yesterday. It's $30. I didn't even negotiate because I'm like, I'm going to go pick this up, and I think I'll do pretty well on it. Well, it turns out I'm going to do a lot better than well. So I'm going to stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly what's in there, what was in the box, and how much I stand to make from it. There was, let's take a look. So I told you there was a Wii game. Oh, I started to tell you. So I literally, I said, I texted him, at night, the night before, and said, hey, I'm interested in this. They said it's available. I said, I'll come get it in the morning. I messaged them in the morning. I said, hey, I'm ready to come get it. Send me your address. They sent me the address. I went, got in the car, pulled out of the garage, was sitting in my driveway, and they messaged me and said, oh, no, wait. I'm so sorry. My husband already sold this. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, really? And so at the same time, I was getting replies back on the Wii and the Wii Guitar Hero that I was trying to get. So I was messaging, so I'm just sitting there messaging them like, okay, well, this was a bust, but I'm going to go pick up these other items. And then about 5 minutes later, she sent me another reply, goes, oh, no, wait, that was something else I had listed. Your stuff's still here. You can come get it. So I messaged her. I said, okay, look, I'm going to come, but it's going to be a little bit because I'm going to make some other stops because I was going to pick up this Wii system and the Guitar Hero, which I thought were the good deals for the day. Again, $200 total off of about 50. Well, I make it to the house. She brings out, it's a little box about this big. The box smelled like smoke. So that's one thing you need to think about is what you're buying. You need to think about, does it matter if it's a smoking home or not? Because it can be a smoke smell. This is really important, obviously, with clothes. With sealed new and box items, for the most part, you could wipe those down or they will kind of air out. And these did. So I got them home. I emptied everything out into a separate box, got rid of that box, spread the stuff out. And by today, the smoke smell was gone. So let me show you what was in there. Here's the Wii game that was in there. Now it is open. It's ABBA Dance. It's got the manual in there. The game is mint. There's no scratches on the game. Now this sells for new. It's like $80, but it's not new. Used, it's $34 on Amazon FBA. I'll get about $25 after fees. So let me add that in. Now, so $30 for this whole lot. I'm going to show you. Added that in. So total yesterday I spent $85. Right now I'm at $225 with the game. That I'm going to profit. This is profit net, not what it's going to sell for. All right, so this is one thing I spotted in there. Now, it wasn't showing condition very well because it was one big picture with everything spread out. The condition on this sucks, but it is new. So these are micro cassette Sony, but obviously the packaging is beat. Now, new on Amazon, these go for $42 with a profit of $32 after fees. I can't send this in to Amazon FBA like this and call it new. So I'd either have to send it in as used like new and reduce the price, or I'm going to put it on eBay for like $30. But again, that I should make around $30 for that. This was in there. It's a new and sealed DVD set or collection. Obviously, it came from Big Lots for $7. The Boy Meets Girl collection, and I don't know maybe they're still selling this, and if they are at Big Lots, go get it, because this sells for. Now there was one listed on FBA. There's one FBA listing for like $50 something, but then there are lower ones. I'm looking right now because I've got all this written down. I looked them up. there's lower ones in the $20 of merchant fulfilled. So you have to look at the merchant fulfilled. If there's somebody listing an FBA that's way like 3 times higher than the merchant fulfilled, the FBA is probably not a really good sell price to go after. So I'm going to list this for like 30 is a reasonable, and I should get about 20 off of this. So again, 20 bucks. I mean, I spent 30 on this whole box, and already I'm looking at about 30 bucks here, 20 bucks here. I was at the Wii game was 25 bucks, but it gets better. All right, so in there, these 2 Maxell tapes, which I think are kind of cool because it's got the old Maxell with the guy getting his blown away by the sound. These are kind of neat. There's 2 of these sealed. Now, these don't go for much. They are going to sell, I'm going to make about $5 a piece on these. They sell for like 8 on Amazon. I'll get like 10 bucks for the 2. I almost want to keep one just because of the graphic. It's kind of neat. So maybe I will. So another 10 bucks. All right. There's 12 of these in there. So these Sony HF cassette tapes. So these can do pretty well, especially in bulk. So there's a listing for a 3-pack of these that has a very, very low sales rank. So these will sell in that 3-pack as soon as they hit the warehouse. The 3-pack of these was going for cassettes. The 3-pack is $16. I will net, after fees, $11. There's 12 of these, so I'm going to get 4 3-packs out of this. 4 times 11 is $44. So another $44 off of these cassettes. Okay. Here, there's some VHS sealed, blank VHS. These can do okay as well, but again, mostly in lots. Now, these I'm going to sell as singles. Very low sales rank on Amazon. The VHS are going for $13 just for a single. I'm going to get 8. There's 5 of these in this box. So again, that's 40 bucks off of 8 or 5 Sony VHS empty cassettes. Now, there's also like 2 or 3 of these. These are only worth $1 or $2. So I'm not too concerned about those. There was like some opened, empty of these CDRs. I didn't even look up pricing for that. I'll probably just keep these for myself. There's an open spindle. I'm going to show you. I've got some sealed ones of these. Here's an open one, Memorex. I'll keep this for myself. Here's a bunch of these opened or no longer sealed DVDs, recordable CDRs and DVD-Rs. Not worth a whole lot. Open, they're not sealed. I'm going to keep all this for myself. All right, so I told you there were some spindles. So I've got this sealed Maxell DVD-R. This one's going to go for, these go for $29 was the lowest FBA price. I'll get about $20 after fees on this. And again, these all have super low, I mean, I'm talking like less than 100 sales rank on Amazon. These will sell as soon as they hit the warehouses. So this stuff's going to be gone. All right, here's the biggest. I saved some of the biggest stuff for last. There are, this was in there. This is also a DVD-R spindle, but this has LightScribe, which is a software, I believe, or they're software enabled. These are sealed as well. These sell for $68 on Amazon. Again, realistically, super low rank. These are going to sell immediately. I'm going to get $53 off of this one spindle, and I got 4 of them. There's 4 of these in that box. So 53 times 4, that's another 200 bucks right there. 216, right? Crazy. And again, I didn't even look these up. I had no idea. I knew they were worth some money. I figured maybe 10 to 20 bucks I would make off of these. I had no idea I would make 50 bucks off. There's 4 of these. And the last kind of bonus, just to throw in there, was the Samsung Active 3D glasses. These, sealed new in the box, never opened. This goes for, the glasses, $58. $46 after fees. So there you have it. So that was it. Now there was some other miscellaneous junk in there that wasn't really worth anything. But I got the glasses, all the sealed spindles. I got the Sony micro cassettes, the game, the movies, just a ton of stuff. And the total, so for the total for that Facebook haul, there's 3 things I bought. I spent $85, and I'm going to get $653 net profit if everything sells at the prices that I quoted you. Now, these are all FBA Amazon prices. It's all going into Amazon FBA. So you get a little better price on there. But either way, I mean, even if these were going on eBay, they would probably still sell quickly and probably close to that price, maybe a little less. So in my experience, Facebook Marketplace, local sourcing anyway, is a great place. It has been for me to buy stuff. Now, I couldn't do it. I don't believe I could do this full time just on buying stuff off of Facebook Marketplace. I don't think there's enough. This is a big enough area that I live in, but maybe some other large cities like San Diego or like Atlanta, Orlando, some larger cities, you might be able to. For mine, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I've noticed there aren't as many things on there. The prices have been going up. People are getting more. Anybody can look up on what stuff sells for on eBay and Amazon with a smartphone. So anybody can take the time to look it up if they want to. But they just choose not to, or they just want to get rid of it quickly. They'd rather have cash in hand. So I have and will continue to source on Facebook Marketplace locally as long as I can continue to turn $85 into $650 in a morning, which took me a couple hours in a morning to drive around. I went and picked these things up at different places around town, but it was all in the same general area, and I was gone maybe a couple hours yesterday picking these items up. Now, as far as buying things nationally, I did not have a great experience with Facebook Marketplace. Selling things nationally, I can't even do. Selling it myself locally on there, I haven't had a great experience. But I'd love, so far, sourcing locally on Facebook Marketplace has been great. So I recommend, if you haven't been, just in your downtime, take a look on there. See if you can find some stuff that you can, maybe 5 times, 10 times your money on, which I was able to do on some of this stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will do more haul videos like this in the future. I have another Goodwill haul that I just did. I will probably do another video coming up on that, where I did pretty well. I dropped in there for a few minutes and picked up some pretty good stuff that I think is going to do pretty well. So stay tuned for that. If you have not already, like and subscribe in order to see those future videos coming up. And go back and check out some of my other videos. I've got a great haul video on that Lego haul, which I did really well, and the DVD haul. They're all on there in the past archive, so go check those out. Thank you so much for turning in. I keep saying that. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.